we have two patterns in front of us. So before we can extend our pattern, we have to do something. What is that thing that Miss Sparks is always telling us that we have to do before we can add on to our pattern, before we can extend our pattern? I see two types of patterns. Yes, that is it. I'm sure you have all yelled it out as well. I need to figure out what kind of patterns these are in order for me to then know how to extend them and what comes next. All right, so I see apple, banana, apple, apple. Okay, I'm seeing some things. I'm noticing that it's increasing. Something's getting bigger. Banana, apple, apple. Okay, so I know that this one is it a repeating pattern or is it a growing pattern? Everybody say it out loud. Is it repeating or is something increasing? Oh, yes, we are adding more to our apple. So yes, it is a growing pattern. Okay, so now that we have figured out that it is a growing pattern, we have said it out loud, but we're going to say it again because now we're really going to go back and extend our pattern. So I see an apple, banana, apple, apple, banana, apple, apple. Okay, so I have to figure out what comes next. So I see one apple here, two apples here, and two apples here. I only see one banana in between each. So I know that my banana is not increasing. I'm not getting more bananas, but I am adding one to each of my apples. So I have +1 to get to here. So I'm going to have my +1 and I will add my last apple. So there we go. So we are adding, let me draw it on here. So we are adding, there we go. Is this right? Let's get the color. There we go. There we go. Miss Sparks is good now. So we are adding one apple. So we have one here. Now we have two. And then we're adding another one. And now we have three. Okay. So let's use our same strategy to figure out how we can extend our bottom pattern down here. Okay. So we have to figure out first, always first, we have to figure out what kind of pattern it is. So it can either be growing or it can be repeating. Okay. So I'm going to say it out loud. That's going to help me out. Basketball, baseball bat, basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball. I'm thinking to myself, Miss Sparks is repeating things. She's saying something over and over again. And I know in our, what do we think it is? Repeating or is it growing? I'm sure you guys are like, so repeating or growing, say it out loud. Yes, it is a repeating pattern because guess what? We have a core. So in our repeating patterns, we have that special thing called the core and that repeats. So Miss Sparks is going to circle this because that is what repeats. It is the basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball. So it's always these two pictures that are repeating themselves. But now my question was to extend my pattern. So I have to add to my pattern. All right. So I have basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball. What should come next? Should it be, should I put another baseball? Let's see if that makes sense when I put that in. So let's go back. We always got to check our work. Basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball, baseball. Does that sound right? I'm sure a lot of you are saying, no, Miss Sparks, that doesn't sound right. It has to be a basketball. So here we go. Now we have our repeating. Basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball, basketball, baseball, and then we have basketball. Good. So now we've learned how to extend our patterns, both growing and repeating. What you are going to do is you're going to be on your Jamboard and you're going to see all these different patterns. So we have 4 patterns, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. These little lines here are how many times you have to extend it. So you have to extend this one by 2 shapes. So you would continue the whole pattern of what you see by 2 shapes. So you can use the shape buttons over here. So that's a circle. So that's a circle. And the way that you do the coloring inside is that you go all the way up there and you put that color in there. So that's how you do that. So you're going to extend all these patterns. But remember, you have to figure out first what kind of pattern it is. So you always have to understand and remember, have to follow these strategies, these 3 things. Okay, so you need to figure out what kind of pattern it is. So you can say that by saying it out loud, all these different things. Then in order to extend it, you got to say it out loud. You got to say it out loud. Say it to yourself. You can whisper to it too. And then extend it. So extending just means adding on. So, or just what would the next shape in the pattern be, or the next number. But for here we have shapes. So again, figure out what kind of pattern it is. Say it out loud. You might need to say it out loud again. You might need to go back and check yourself again. And then you extend the pattern. So that is what you are doing on these. So remember, this one is a 3 that you got to keep going, extending it by 3. There we go. So remember, extend our patterns. We got to figure out what kind of pattern it is. Then we have to look at the pattern, say it out loud, because it's going to help you figure out what is the next one, which is what you are extending. So that's our last step. So cannot wait to see all of our extended growing and repeating patterns.